Hebrews. This is Prophets of Awakening, and this is our Wednesday format, and we having an uncomfortable conversation with a non-Messianic Hebrew Israelite. This is episode 2. We did episode 1 last week, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a moment of silence for all the things that's happening around the world in the hand of the Most High, and what He's doing, and then we're going to go into a prayer, and then we're going to go into our conversation and take it from there. O Lord, I pray unto the Lord my God. We make our confessions, O Lord, the great and dreadful God, keeping covenant and mercy to them that love thee, and to them that keep thy commandments. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us a confusion of faith, as at this day, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven us, because of our trespass, that we have trespassed against thee. As it is written in the laws of Moses, all this evil is come upon us in the land of our captivity, here in the Americas. O Lord, according to all thy righteousness, I beseech thee, let thine anger and thy fury be turned away from thy city Jerusalem, and thy people, and thy holy mountain. O Lord, hear this prayer, cause thy face to shine upon thy sanctuary and thy people for thy sake. O Lord, open thine eyes and incline thine ears to hear and to behold our condition. O Lord, hear. O Lord, forgive. O Lord, hearken and do. Defer not for thine own sake. O my Lord, for thy people and thy land need you desperately at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay, so like I was saying before, we're going to do a little, go into a little current events for a minute, and then we're going to go into why we're here tonight. Okay, I was looking at a couple of things that I was looking at on YouTube. One of them was the Georgia governor declared a state of emergency over it was a bunch of deadly shootings over the weekend. He declared a state of emergency yesterday. I think it was like 31 shooting deaths and something like 8 or 9 injuries. And so they called a state of emergency. That was over the weekend. And also in Georgia, they had armed black militia that went up to Stone Mountain, and they was all armed. From my understanding of it, it looked as it was at least 400 or 500 people, and they all went up to address the situation because a bunch of threats had went out by a bunch of white supremacists. So they went up and armed up to so it's a well-known place that the white supremacists and the Klan go during the year. It's called Stone Mountain, Georgia. It's a Confederate monument up there, I think, yes. So I thought that was interesting. And then we have I was looking at the arrest. I watched the video where they arrested this lady, Crystalline Maxwell. She was affiliated with Jeffrey Epstein, and so they arrested her. So they got everybody, a lot of people shaking their boots now because they don't know what she's gonna start calling out names or associates that was tied with her and Jeffrey Epstein or not. But like I said, is the plot is thickening every day. Every day it passes. And like I said, with that being said, does anybody got any comments or anything on something they want to add to what I was just talking about, the current events? Nobody having nothing? Okay. Like I said, with this Wednesday night is what we're doing on Wednesday night. What happened is reason why we dealing with this format is that we went Prophets of Awakening. We were searching the internet and searching everywhere trying to find a format to start revealing some of these truths, the hidden truths that's been hidden for ever since Israel lost its identity as a nation back in 143 BC when they was driven out of the land of Israel by the Macedonians of Greece, the third beast, and so we've been given all these lies. We've been given a fictitious God, a fake God. We've been given a fake testament, the New Testament, and so some of this stuff was addressed in episode 1. But what I did was I went back and I reviewed some of the stuff I said, and like I was saying, a lot of people have not heard some of this stuff, and so it sounds foreign. So what I want to do is not just say something and then don't go into it. So what this is all about, this conversation, is to uncover the lies, because like I said, we're in the latter days, and I wanted to make sure that what's being conveyed, it comes out plain. And so I'm gonna read a little something, and then I'm gonna go into some of the uncover some of the lies that's been covered over for at least 2 centuries. Okay, so like I was saying before, this episode 2, and it says most Israelites and Gentiles don't know the extent of the lies. We have a lot of Israelites that's awakening, because we in the midst of our end time prophecies, the latter days. It was told to us by the prophets, the so-called minor prophets, that to search the scriptures out in these last days and to find our God, to find our strong one, our El. And we've done that, and we're exposing the idol that's been given to us by the Greeks and the Romans and the Edomites, way back 2,000 years ago. So, like I said, I wanted to start out with this. I got an image back behind me, and it's an image that was when you go to Egyptian history, and the Egyptians existed for a long time. Their culture existed for a long time, and it's the most dynamic and most powerful culture that existed on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Besides the Israelites. And so what they did was in all their tombs, and they had tombs that they built within inside these or side of these mountains, and they had temples, and everywhere on their temples they had listing. This listing right here. They had these 4 men right here. If you can you see all of them? Let me see. Okay. Okay, there you go. So right here in the tombs in Egypt, they had this. They give you the different types of men that existed in the world in that time, and what they give you is these 4 men. They give you this man right here. He's a Tamahu. They call him Tamahu. He was a Caucasian. And this man right here was the Egyptian, which is we know that this is 6-day man. And then this man right here was mixed. He came from this man and this man, these cultures mixing. And you got this man right here, mulatto, a Semite. He mixed. And then not a Shemite, but a Semite right here. Then you got the Israelite right here. So these are the four men that existed on the earth at the beginning. You know, the Egyptians tell you this all over. They, like I said, in the Egyptian Book of the Dead, in the temples, on the walls of the temples, on the walls of the tombs. It's all over the place. You see this format right here. These four men. That's what existed. So, and the reason I'm showing you this right here, you notice that they not the same. They're different, and they all have different origins. So, like I said before, I'm gonna start with this man right here, and we know that from Genesis chapter 1. I mean, you know, Genesis chapter. Let me get it right quick. Genesis chapter 1. No, not Genesis chapter 1, but Genesis chapter 4. Cain and Abel was born, and Cain. We know that Cain came about by having he had an encounter. She had an encounter with the serpent, and the serpent is Cain's father. You know, like I said, some of this stuff is probably going to make you uncomfortable, but it's going to be explained. So this man right here came about when Eve had an encounter with the serpent, and so we know that he ended up killing his brother Abel. And then I'm gonna pick it up in chapter 4, verse 8. And it says, and Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. And the Lord said unto Cain, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood crieth unto me from the ground, and now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. When thou tillest the ground, he shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Right? And so what happened was, if you keep reading, it says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from the face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest anyone finding him to kill him. So we've been, like I said before, the reason for this uncomfortable conversation and for this format is to uncover every lie that's been told, in order for you to get a clear understanding of what happened and what's going to happen and what's really going on. So it says right here in verse 15, the Lord said unto him, therefore whoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest anyone find him shall kill him. So you say they got all different versions of what this mark is, but we're gonna go to Numbers right quick because another incident happened, and so you uncover the lies on precept upon precept, line upon line. So I'm in Numbers, and we're in chapter 19. Yeah, chapter 12, and the situation that's going on is that Miriam and Moses is plotting against. Miriam and Aaron is plotting against Moses. They're talking behind Moses' back, and the Lord of hosts is with Moses, and the Lord of hosts hears this murmuring and this talking behind the scenes against Moses. So we're going to pick it up in chapter 12, verse 1. It says, and Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married. For he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, Have the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Have he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek, and above all men, and above all the men which were upon the face of the earth. And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses and unto Aaron and unto Miriam, come out, ye three, upon the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of a cloud and stood in the door of the tabernacle and called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, the Lord, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and I will speak unto him in a dream. And my servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all mine house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold. Wherefore then were ye not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and they departed. So we see right here the Most High is angry with Miriam and Aaron for speaking against Moses. His anger is kindled. And so if you go back to Genesis chapter 4, his anger, the same Lord is present when Cain killed Abel. And his anger is kindled against Cain for what he did to Abel. So we're going to see what he did to Miriam. In Numbers chapter 12, verse 10, it says, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow, right? And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. So we see that the mark that was placed on Miriam is the same mark that was placed on Cain. So what he did was he took the melanin out of Miriam and left her white. That's what curse means. It was all the people in that region at the time was people of color. They had melanin in them. And when somebody does something that's awful against the Most High, and they kindle his anger, then when he cursed them, he take the melanin out of them and leave them white. And so the difference in Miriam's situation and Cain's situation was Moses was there. And so we're going to look what Moses did. Moses interceded for Miriam. And it says, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, Atlas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not thy sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. So the sin is what bringing forth the curse. And the Most High, melanin is a gift that was given to humans. And so when we curse them, we take that back. And that's what leave them white. So he says, Aaron, understand that. So he tell Moses that, don't allow the sin to be laid on her, where she's done foolishly. Then 12 says, let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of the mother womb. And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, O God, I beseech thee. And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father have a spit in her face, should she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that let her be received in. And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days, and the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterwards the people removed from Hazeroth and pitched in the wilderness of Panorama. So what we just read was the Most High cursed her, but Moses was there. Moses was present, the man of God, and he beseeched the Most High on her behalf, and he had her to stay outside the camp for 7 days. And so you have to ask yourself, why 7 days? 6 days. It took the Most High to create the heavens and the earth in the very beginning, and then he rested on the 7th day. So what the Israelites are keeping this commandment, and so they had the 6 days. She was a leprous. They kept the Shabbat, and then after the Sabbath was over with, he returned us complexion back to her. But with Cain, let's go back and read Cain. What happened to Cain? It says, in chapter 4, verse 10 says, and he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother blood crieth unto me from the ground, and now thou art cursed from the earth, and which have opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. And when thou tillest the ground, the reason he's saying this, the earth, which is the woman, which is where Adam came from, has melanin in her too. And like I said before, this melanin is what they call the God gene, which is the Most High. It's not just, it just don't come by happenstance. The Most High give it to you. It's a blessing to have it. So when you have a problem with you and you kill his anger, you take that back. That's how you get the pale skin with no melanin in it. So he says, 12, when thou tillest the ground, and it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. And Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. And he's saying this because the Most High is going to take the melanin from him. And the reason being is that he killed his brother and he stuck him in the ground, buried him in the ground. And so 14 says, behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from the face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. So this mark that he put on him was that everybody else around there have melanin in them. So when they see Cain and they see that he has no melanin in him, they're going to know this is the guy that the Most High cursed. And so if 15 says, and the Lord God said unto him, therefore whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon him, lest anyone find him to kill him. So now we know what the mark is. Take the melanin out of him. And so to make all that plain, the angels are melanated, Adam is melanated, and Ham is melanated. So everybody around there is melanated. So when the serpent and Eve had his encounter, Cain originally was a melanated person. But because he killed his brother Abel, and because his origins, he's of that wicked one, he killed his brother, then the Most High came down and his anger was kindled with Cain, and he turned him white. And this is man is right here. And the Egyptians showing us that. Okay? And so this next man is Ham. And let's show you who that is. And the reason I'm showing you this, and the reason I'm drawing this out is because they're not these not Adam's sons. If you notice, it's 4 people in play in Genesis. You got Cain's descendants. You got this man right here, the 6th-day man. We're gonna show you him right quick. In Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, it says, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And 27, so God created man in his own image. In his image created he him. Male and female created he them. So what we see right here, this man right here that was created on the 6th day has a woman with him. And Adam don't have a woman with him because he had to put him to sleep and take a rib out of him and made a woman. But this man right here was created with a woman. It's on the 6th day. And that's why we call him the 6th-day man. And then it says in 28, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. So what we see is the origins of a fisherman and we see the origins of a hunter. So when you understand that, he says that, so this is on the 6th day, and the Most High rested. One day with the Lord is 1,000 years. So we made this man on the 6th day. 1,000 years passed. Then he rested on the 7th day. Genesis chapter 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the 7th day, God ended his work which he had created and made, and he rested from the 7th day. On the 7th day, from all his work which he had made, and God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because that he had rested from all his work which he had created and made. So when you look at from the sixth day till the seventh day, it's 2,000 years. 6 days of a year, 1 day with the Lord, and the Sabbath day, the day he rested, was a year with 1,000 years. So that's 2,000 years in past, and it brings us to Genesis. This man right here, which is Ham. And so you go to Genesis chapter 2, verse 4 says, "These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground." So we see from reading this properly, we see that he needed a man to till the ground. He made a man over here with a woman on the sixth day, and they had dominion over the fish of the sea and the fowls of the air. And so it's right here he says he needed man to till the ground. And then verse 6 says, "But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground, and the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul." So this is the man that Adam, that he created without a woman. And like I said before, he formed this man, but the man in Genesis 1 and 26 and 27, verse 27 says, "So God created man in his image." This man was spoken into existence, him and the woman. And I'm going to show that to you in a minute. So then he rested, and then we see where he needed a man to till the ground, which is this man right here. So we see that this Cain's descendants, this is the man he created on the sixth day with a woman with him. And this is Adam's descendants right here. And so he says, and the Lord God formed a man from the dust of the ground, breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living soul. So we see we identified three of them. So this right here this man is a mulatto, and they're going to show you who he is. So when you go to after the flood, I mean not after the flood, but to say I'm kind of jumping around, but I'm gonna make this plain. Verse Genesis 9 and verse 20 says, Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard, and he drank the wine, and he was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, see that? So Ham's Ham right here. It says, which is the people that was in the original name of Africa was Ham, because it's hot and people with black faces. So it says 22, Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers without. And Shem and Japheth took the garment and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backwards and covered their nakedness of their father, and their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his sleep, awoke from his wine, and knew that his youngest son had done what his youngest son had done on him. So we have to go to the end and find out what Noah's nakedness is, and we're gonna get to the bottom of what happened right here. So if you go to Leviticus, right quick. I have to do this in order for me to proceed forward. It's I think it's in chapter 2. What chapter is that in with the nakedness? Yeah, okay, I'm in chapter 18. Chapter 18 and verse it says, starting at this is the Most High is giving commandments to Moses on immorality, that's the acts of immorality that's forbidden in Israel. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Lord your God. After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do. And after the doings of the land of Canaan, where I bring you, shall ye not do. Neither shall ye walk in their ordinances. Ye shall do my judgments, keep mine ordinances, to walk therein. I am the Lord your God. And ye shall therefore keep my statutes, my judgments, which if a man do, he shall live in them, and I am the Lord. None of ye shall approach to any that is near of kin to him to uncover their nakedness. I am the Lord. Remember that he says that no, you can't deal with the kin folks near kin. You can't approach them to have a sexual encounter with them or to marry them and none of that. So 7 says, the nakedness of thy father or the nakedness of thy mother shall thou not uncover. She is thy father, thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of thy father's wife shall thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. So Noah's nakedness is his wife. So it's not that Noah uncovered himself and you saw Noah's nakedness, but Noah's nakedness, a man's nakedness is his wife. So if you lie with her or uncover her nakedness, you uncover his nakedness. So with that understanding, you go back to Genesis chapter 9, and verse 20 says, and Noah began to be a husband. He planted a vineyard, and he drank the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brothers without. And so when you break this down, you've come to find out that when they got on the boat, Canaan wasn't there. So Canaan came about after they got on the boat. And so Canaan is a product of what sexual encounter that was I'm trying to make this as plain as I can. I don't want to sound like that I'm ad-libbing anything or not, but we're gonna see later on after we get into this that it was not Ham that violated Noah, it was Japheth. Japheth violated Noah. And I'm gonna show you that in a minute. So Japheth uncovered Noah's nakedness, which means he had a sexual encounter with Noah's wife, and the product of that was Canaan. That's who this person is, mulatto. So when you understand that Cain's descendants, they returned white, and so you get over here to this guy right here. He came about after the water receded, and they came off the boat. This man here had a sexual encounter with Noah's wife, and the product of it was Canaan. This is the father of the Canaanites. So let's look at that. We're gonna keep reading. It says, like I said before, it's not a man. It's not a man on the boat with this named Canaan. But after they get off the boat, it's all of a sudden this man come up, this person come up named Canaan, and he says, and it comes up right here after Noah's wife is violated. 23 says, Shem and Japheth took the garment, laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father. That's the mother there. It's not Noah. And he says, and their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness. It's a woman there. That's why they turning backwards. But the powers that be, the people, like I said, there's so many lies and so many alterations that are done to the scriptures in order for you to believe what you believe. He says that, and their faces were backwards, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done unto him. 25. And he said, "Cursed be Canaan." We know what curse was. We know what definition of curse is because of what happened with Cain, what I just explained. He says, "Cursed be Canaan. A servant of servants shall he be unto his brothers." So who was Canaan? He didn't get on the boat. Let's look at it. Go back to chapter 6. Okay, it says, chapter 7, verse 1 says, and the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark. Thee says, for thee have I seen righteousness before me in generation. And of every clean beast thou shalt take of thee by servants, the male and female, and the beasts that are not clean by two, and the male and his female, and of the fowls keep going. And then it says, verse 4 says, for yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth. So we see right here, they kept 7 days, just like they did with Mary. But anyway, he says that 12, and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and in the self-same day in Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with them into the ark. So we see right here, Canaan not even mentioned in verse 12, 7 and 12, and it's no Canaan. But when you go to Genesis chapter 9, verse 25, when all of a sudden it says, and he said, cursed be Canaan, the servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. So where did Canaan come from? Well, from what I just broke down to you, it's a woman involved in what happened. The Noah's nakedness is his wife. It's either Shem, Japheth, or Ham. It's one of them that slept with Noah's wife, and the product of that was Canaan. And Noah knew that she conceived, and he cursed the seed in the womb. So what I'm gonna do is show you exactly who it is. It's only Shem, Japheth, and Ham got on the boat. So I'm gonna go into Lord. I'm looking for a book of Adam and Eve. Okay. Well, I don't see my book of Adam and Eve. So what I'm gonna do? What happened with the story of Adam and Eve before the flood? Cain's descendants, that when they went down to the land of Nod, and they lived there, the book of Adam and Eve explains what they was doing down there, and what they were doing was they was interacting with each other, and they was having orgies and they was doing all kind of foul stuff, and they didn't respect kindred. They didn't respect a man's daughter or their daughter, or they didn't respect the young man, the young girl. They was just doing all kind of stuff. And so with that understanding what they were doing, we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 6, and it says that verse 18 says, but with thee I established, this is the Most High, a covenant with our Noah. He says, but with thee will I establish my covenant, and thou shalt come into the ark, thou and thy sons and thy wives and thy sons' wives with thee, and every living thing of all flesh. So what I want to break down is this word, this is a Hebrew word idiom, and you got to get the Hebrew understanding of that. So this word all flesh means genitalia, these humans. And I just showed you how that the Most High, Cain came about from a sexual encounter with Eve, and you got Cain. And then the Most High created a man and a woman on the 6th day. That's who Ham is. That's this Ham right here. And this Cain's descendants. And right here was the man he created on the 8th day after he rested. He came back and he formed the man from the dust of the ground, breathed into him. Then he took a rib from him and made Eve. And then this man came about right here from what the Japheth did to Noah's wife after the flood was over with, because that's what they was doing before the flood. And so what I'm trying to explain to you is that he told them to go get a male and a female of all flesh, which is all of humans. So these are 4 men that the Egyptians have all over their tombs and all over their temples that was existing on the earth at the time. And so to go back and get the proper understanding of this is that Noah went and got a male and a female from Japheth's lineage. He went and got a male and a female from this man's lineage, from Ham's lineage, and he went and got he had his wife with him, and this is his son Shem. And Shem's wife got on there. So this man right here came out of Cain's descendant, and his wife ain't no kin to Noah. And this man right here and his wife ain't no kin to Noah. But the Most High told him to go get him a male and a female from all flesh, genitalia. And then I'm gonna keep reading it to show you this, because you're not. I mean, if nobody explains it to you or expose it or shine a light on it, you're gonna keep reading it as if the way they gave it to you when they hoodwinked. So it says 19, and every living thing of all flesh, 2 of every sort shall thou bring into the ark to keep them alive with thee. They shall be male and female. Then he goes to 20 of the fowl after that kind, the cattle. So in 19 he's talking about humans, but in 20 he says of the fowls after their kind, and the cattle after their kind, and every creeping thing of the earth after his kind, 2 of every sort shall I come into the ark to keep them alive, and take thee unto thee of all food that is eaten, and thou shalt gather it to thee, and it shall be for food for thee and for them. And thus did Noah according to all that God had commanded him. So we see that right here, according to what the Egyptians gave us in their tombs and in their temples, and according to with the proper understanding, we see that this is not Noah's son, and this ain't Noah's son. This is Noah's son right here, and this man right here came about after the water receded from the encounter that this man right here Japheth had with Noah's wife, and he was born, and Noah cursed him in the womb because he was a product of what Japheth had done to Noah's wife, which was he was only doing what his forefathers was doing before they brought him on the boat, which was they was sleeping with the next man. They had no respect for the next man or his wife, raping women, raping their daughters, raping their sons. And so when the water receded, they got out of the boat, he picked right up on what he was doing before that. And he slept with Noah's wife. And that's how we get this Canaan. That's how Canaan came about. Okay? So you just I'm shining a light on that so you can let it sink in and let it marinate. But I could not go forward unless I showed you that. And like I said, all this may sound foreign right now, but as we go, it's gonna start all coming together. So before I move on to my next topic, I want to see if anybody have any questions that's here, any comments on what we just explained. Anybody got any questions? Okay, so let me go off here right quick. Okay, so like I said before, I was trying to I had to do that in order to do what I'm getting ready to do. And like I said, it's gonna all come together when we finish a lot of these images. So okay. Yeah. we had talked about this about that temple, and I want to go back and clean up something in this temple, and then I'm gonna move forward. Uh, yeah. Okay. So yeah, on the last episode, we was talking about. I was explaining to you that the urgency of this whole situation was that we had let me see my let me move this over some. Yeah. So we had this is the temple that this is from Amos 9:11 when the Most High made a promise to David that he was going to raise up his tabernacle in the latter days, and that was going to be a major sign for the Israelites that's waking up his descendants of the Israelites in the last days. And we see right here that this place has been raised up right here, and it was actually two Jerusalems. It was this Jerusalem right here that's down in the Negev desert in Telerod, and then you have another Jerusalem where the one that's over there now, where all these Edomites are congregated at, and over by Tel Aviv and all that. This was a Jebusite Jerusalem that David conquered. And you had another one over by the Canaanites that was where everybody had over there. And this right here was made desolate by Antiochus Epiphanes back in 143 BC when they sacked this temple. After they came back from Babylon, they rebuilt this temple, Zerubbabel, and then the Greeks came, and we went through all that in episode 1. But what I want to show you was this Telerod right here, and notice how that this right here is. They're showing you what Telerod is, and look at Telerod in association with the Dead Sea, and what we had talked about with the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Essenes, and the Essenes was Edomites. And they came from it was a group of priests that had existed in Egypt, and they were priests of Amun. And when Egypt was destroyed, they ended up coming here to the Dead Sea Scrolls. And I showed you how I'll find an image in a minute, but I'm gonna show you how these scenes had. This is where the temple was at. They had during the time of Herod, they had direct access to go into the temple. They had a door, a gate just for them. These not Israelites. So that let you know that the temple that Herod had built didn't have nothing to do with the Most High. It was void. It wasn't. They had nothing whatsoever to do with the Israelites and the Israelites. And like I said before, 143 BC, Israelites had fled because of the Greeks and the third beast, because of Antiochus Epiphanes and all the atrocities that he was doing to them. They fled, and they went across the Caucasus Mountains, and they went up into top part of Africa, and eventually they came down to the Sahara Desert and ended up on the west coast of Africa. And so anyway, so like I said, here got another image back here. These just images of the temple. And I'm overlaying this because I'm going somewhere, and in order for you to understand what I'm getting ready to show you, because it's it's a major importance. I got to do this, just like I had to do that with the 4 men, because of these men. When you understand what's going on, these men are not Noah's sons. Japhet is not Noah's. Japhet comes out of Cain's lineage, and so let me show you that right quick, because I didn't talk about that earlier. So if you go to Genesis chapter 10, well, you go to Genesis chapter 4 first. And I'm gonna show you these three lineages because Canaan came about after the flood, after what Japheth did with Noah's wife. So on chapter 4, verse 16 says, and Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, dwelt in the land of Nod, like I spoke about, east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and so Cain got a wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch, and he built a city and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And this is not the Enoch that's in Adam's lineage. It says, and Enoch was born Iris, and Iris begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Methuselah, and Methuselah begot Lamech. And then you keep on reading that this Cain's descendants. These people is not part of Adam's descendants. The Most High separated them from Adam's descendants. And then you go to chapter 2, chapter 5, and it says, this is the book of the generations of Adam. In the day that the Lord God created man in his likeness, and God made him two, male and female. This is the man that he created on the sixth day with a woman. He says, and he created them, blessed them, called their names Adam in the day when they were created. So I showed you in 4 and 16 through 22 is Adam's descendants. Chapter 5, verse 1 and 2 is the 6th-day man. Then chapter 5, verse 3, Adam lived 130 years and begot a son. This is the man Adam. You got a race of people called Adam that he created on the 6th day. Then you got a man called Adam. And so you say, what are you talking about? It's a man called Israel. Jacob's name was changed to Israel, and it's a race of people called Israel, Israelites. They Israelites because their father's name was Israel. And there's a nation called Israel. Same right here. Chapter 5, verse 1 and 2 says, this is the book of the generation of Adam in the day that the Lord God created man. In his likeness, God created him. Male and female created he them, blessed them, called their names Adam in the day when they were created. And Adam lived, and did 3. And Adam lived, just the man Adam, 130 years and begot a son in his likeness and after his image and called his name Seth. So just the 3 lineages I just showed you right here. And Canaan came about after the flood, after the water receded. The Semite, because Cain the melanin was taken from Cain. He slept with Noah's wife. She's a woman of color. And then Canaan is a Semite, not a Shemite, but a Semite. And so that's how you get to that's the 4 races. So when you understand that, that's when you go to Genesis chapter 10. And when you get to Genesis chapter 10, what they've done is they've told you that all these people is Noah's sons when they ain't Noah's sons. From the breakdown I just showed you, there's no way you got a man of color and the Most High, he's keeping the Most High's commandments, and he told them don't mingle outside of your race. So if he said don't mingle outside their race, then what other races at? I'm showing you the other races. They're not none of his sons. These people, we told them to go and get a male and a female of each one of the type of men that was on earth. And so we go to Genesis 10 and 1 says, these are the generations of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and unto him were sons born after the flood. So let's look at that. So now we in chapter verse 2. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Midian, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, Tyrus, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Raphath, Termagog, and the sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarsus, Kittim, and Dedan. These people are these Anglo-Saxons. It's no way on the sun. They came from Adam. They're totally different from the images I just showed you. It's not none of these people right here. Japheth is not none of their sons, not none of his sons. This is Cain's descendants. So let me give you another precept. If you go to 2 Samuel, and these people right here, wicked as hell. They wicked as hell. They got a rap sheet. You know, I don't even need to go there. They got a rap sheet from time immemorial how wicked they were, all the way up to the day. So You say, well, who are they? You go to 2 Samuel right quick. Go to 2 Samuel, chapter 7. And the Most High make this statement, right? He says, he's talking to, he sent Nathan to talk to David, and he making a covenant with David according to the nation of Israel, because David was their king. And he says, I'm gonna pick it up in verse 9. He says, and I was with thee wheresoever thou wentest, and I have cut off all thy enemies out of thy sight, and have made thee a great name, like unto the name of the great men that are in the earth. Moreover, I will appoint a place for my people. So if he got some people, it's some more people that ain't none of his people. And you got to trace it back and find out who these people, where they come from. And I'm showing you that. So he says, 10, moreover, I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and I will plant them that they move that they may dwell in the place of their own and move no more. Neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more as before time. So who is these children of wickedness? I just showed you who they were. Japhet descendants. They wicked as hell. And we see from all the atrocities that they've done on earth since they've been here. And they came, the children of wickedness they came from Cain. And they came from, Cain came from the serpent. The encounter he cohabitated with Eve. That's his origins. And that's these people right here. You say, well, what are you talking about? Well, the third and the fourth beast is Gentile kingdoms. Let's look at that. Genesis chapter 10. It says, now these are the generations of Shem, of Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and under them were sons born after the flood. Now he's listing Japheth's lineage. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Midian, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, Tiras, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Reba, Tomagar, and the sons of Javan. Javan is the third beast, the Greeks, the Macedonians. That's Javan. And then Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim. Kittim is the third beast. That's the Romans. Romans is Chittim. They spell it with a K, or you can spell it with a K-I-T-T-I-M or C-H-I. That's the Romans. So the third and fourth beast is that come out of Japhet. So what I'm showing you is the Greeks and the Romans ain't no kin to Israel. They're not no kin, and we know that because they molecular makeup. They DNA, they're not none of their sons. So when you go back, you can see right here that it's not Noah's son. It's been overlaid. It's been written over and overlaid to give you a certain narrative that is not the truth. But these people right here is not Noah's son. And we also know that the Ashkenazi Jew is not a real Israelite. He's not a real Jew. So, but we see right here what his origins. His origins come from Japhet, Genesis chapter 10, verse 3. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz. That's the Ashkenazi Jew. 90-some% of the Jewry today in the world is Ashkenazi. They're not Jewish by DNA. They're Jewish by they were proselytized and converted into which is Japhet. They was converted into and given the Israelite or the Judaism way of life by Esau. And Esau obtained his understanding from Abraham because he was raised by Abraham. But he didn't care about his heritage. He sold his heritage and his birthright to Jacob for a bowl of pottage. And so, like I said before, they're not no king. Ham is not Ham. The Egyptians, the Ethiopians, they no kin to the Israelites. So that lets you know that these people are not Noah's sons. Ham is not Noah's son, and Japheth is not none of his sons. That's a lie from the pits of hell. And like I said before, this is the reason why this format was set up to uncover these lies. Because if you're not exposed to them, then you're not going to search it out and you're not going to deal with it to look at it and get the proper understanding out of it. It's no sooner than it's revealed to you and shown to you that you have to start dealing with it. Okay, so with that being said, I'm gonna move on to my next. Like I said, I'm giving you one piece of the puzzle at a time. And so while I showed you that Telerod and this temple right here is desert, because this is the area that was in Daniel 9:25 that the Greeks at the end of the third beast made desolate. When the original, the Israelites, it's a difference in an Israelite and a Jew. The Jew is came about from Esau. Those are Edomite Jews that mingle with the Greeks and the Romans. And I'm gonna show you all in a minute. And the Israelite is this the area that their temple was decimated by Zerubbabel. When Zerubbabel came back from Babylon, the Antioch Epiphanes and the Greeks at the end of the Greek kingdom came and destroyed this place. And then later on, Hadrian, one of the Roman empires, came in, and because this place was causing so much trouble that they backfilled it. He took like 2-3 legions and they came in and covered this place over with dirt. And so recently, within the last maybe 7 or 8 years or so, these Israelites came and dug this place up. I'm gonna show you that. Let me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Find this image. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so this guy right here, he's the one behind. He dug it okay. Yeah, so he dug this up. He dug up, he's the one who dug the temple up, the tabernacle of David. This guy right here. And like I was saying before, we was reading on Saturday that the Most High shows up when these innocent animals are being sacrificed. He commanded Moses that he said that when you do this sacrifices, and you kill the animal the proper way, take the entrails and all that out, burn them on the altar, do the wave off and all that, then he shows up. And we went to Genesis 15 when Abraham did the same thing and the Lord showed up. And we see how he moved in between the pieces. And so why is it that we haven't had no manifestations of the Most High, physical manifestations of him? Because the temple was destroyed and we ain't doing no more sacrifices. We know back when Adam and all those men and Noah and all those men, when they did the sacrifices, the Lord showed up, because that's the process. It's not the Most High doesn't deal with human sacrifices. He don't deal with human blood. So that's ludicrous. So he deals with these innocent animals that he gave them to sacrifice. And when they sacrifice them and they do it in the proper way, he show up. And so we see that they then dug up the temple, and now they over there doing human sacrifices. This group right here, these Israelites, they over there right now in Telerod, they're doing this. And so what I wanted to shine light on too while we was here was I had showed you the temple right here. Yeah, I showed you this right here. This temple, the Herod's temple. And I showed you down here, right here, where let me get over here. I showed you over here where this is this the Essene Gate. You had three different factions, which they was Edomites that was in the land of Israel at the time. And so like I said, it's a gate to the Essenes. And so when you look at that, this is the Essene Gate, this is the temple, Herod's temple. And you go over here, like I said, see this little square right here showing you from a Google Earth that this Jerusalem, this is the Temple Mount right here. See where the Dead Sea at in association with it, where it's at? The Dead Sea was right there, the Qumran. The Dead Sea Scrolls, where they found all the Dead Sea Scrolls at, those are priests from a Moon Edomite priest that came from 29th dynasty that came and set up shop over here on the Dead Sea, living in those caves where they had access through the gate right here, the Essene Gate that was in the temple in Jerusalem right here. So, like I said, with this information and looking at this, we see it's no way under the sun that these Israelites, they were gone. They was on the west coast of Africa, or up at the top part of Ashtaroth, at the top part of Egypt, and eventually, like I said, they trickled down through the Sahara Desert and ended up on the west coast of Africa. And so, what I want to do is I want to show you that. Okay, let me show you that. Okay, give me a minute. Excuse me. Get one little image. Okay, so right here with these, like I said, you would think that how did they come about discovering this temple and digging it up to where it's at now? Well, you're looking at these artifacts. They was finding these artifacts, and the guy that I showed you on the poster, he's an archaeologist. And they kept getting all these different artifacts and these different little fragments and pieces of like signets and different little things from was coming in to them, and they were saying they was wanting to know where these artifacts was coming from, and they kept coming up in out of Telerod. They kept coming up. Let me get that. Yeah, they kept coming up in they kept coming up from the place I showed you, Telerod. They kept coming up in that particular location, and so they said they seen these. Here go one right here. These artifacts just kept coming up, and they was out. Man, that's upside down. Hold on. Yeah. So all these artifacts kept coming up. Like I said, see this. It says the letter to Zodak from Erod, and then it says we want to send troops. It just it was information that was on this particular piece of pottery, and it was still talking about an event that's in the Bible. So I'm gonna show you. who Zodak is right quick. And it's in Second Chronicles. In Second Chronicles chapter 36, verse 11, it says, Zedekiah was 1 and 20 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord, his God, and he humbled not himself before Jeremiah the prophet, speaking from the mouth of the Lord. So Zedekiah, that's him. So they found this fragment, this piece of pottery or whatever, and it had all this information on there about the letter that he had wrote pertaining to go to war with Ramalia, and then the guy kept saying, well, where are all these pieces coming from? All these little pieces right here, you go some down here, it was coming up. See, all of it is pointing to a rod, Telerod. And then that's how he went to that location, and then they ended up discovering the temple. And so they went to digging, and then they dug it up. And it was all because of all of these pieces of these fragments that they were finding, and it was coming from a particular location. And that's how they found out that the Jerusalem that they have over there now that they're dealing with was not the original Jerusalem. And they came, and that's how it came about. But like I was saying before, I'm gonna read it right quick. The Most High had already prophesied that was gonna happen, so he was behind it. It says in I think it's Amos 9, Amos 9 and 11 says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise it up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. And so we see the hand of the Most High was behind it. And he started dealing with this guy, and this guy was an archaeologist. He's an Israelite archaeologist, and he started dealing with him before these pieces that was coming in, and then he was saying they wasn't coming from nowhere in Jerusalem, nowhere around Telerod or this Jerusalem that they over there now, and he started. So he traced all the pieces back to Telerod, and that's how they ended up digging up this temple that I keep showing you. This pertaining to David, but that's prophecy. And so anyway, with that being said, anybody got any questions so far? Comments? Okay. No questions. Is there any questions in the chat? Okay. 1 minute. Okay.
Okay, Leonard. So I just wanted to get clarification. You were
Okay.
showing us the proximity from the um, Dead Sea to the temple
Right.
in order for us to understand what?
Okay. I got it back up. Let me show you right here. Okay. There it is. You talking about this right here?
Yeah.
Right. This is Tel Arad. This the area where I showed you the temple that they dug up. This the location of Tel
Okay.
Arad right here. This is Dead Sea. And this area over here is where they found the Qumran, where they found the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
See right here? And see how where it is to this?
Yeah.
Okay. And so when you look at that, let me get this other image. So this the temple right here. They want you to think that they want you to think that this temple right here is the Herod's temple. Right here. You see, can you see it? Can you see it? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this Herod's temple right here. This Herod's temple, all this temple, this temple right here has nothing to do with the Israelites. And so we know that the Israelites had left, been gone since 143 BC, but they got a gate right here. Say the Essene gate. So who are the Essenes? The Essenes were the ones that was over here on Qumran.
Okay.
And so see this temple was at right here. It was right here. So they got proximity. They was coming from here right into they had access through the back door into the temple.
Okay.
And these not Israelites. So the Israelites was long gone. Is the point I'm trying to show you.
Okay.
And so if you go to the back of your King James Bible, you're gonna see where they got an image of the temple. They got an image of the Jerusalem, but this area right here, they got this part on the image on the back of the Bible, but this right here is blank.
Okay.
It's blank.
Mm-hmm.
Because before the guys dug it up, they had everybody fooled.
Mm-hmm.
Now that this blank area is a temple there, and that's the one I keep on showing you this right here. They dug it up. Let me get it right here.
Okay.
Yeah, so they dug it up. This temple. Right here. They just dug this up.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
They just dug this up. This is the temple. They didn't dug it up. That's what's right here. This. But for longer than all the Bibles and all in the back of the Bibles, this area here was always blank. And so I'm showing you, I didn't do it, but on here, they got a scene gate. Why would you have a scene gate on the temple that the Israelites built?
Okay. And the Essenes are the descendants of
Esau.
Okay.
And they was the priest that was in Egypt during the 29th dynasty. The 29th dynasty was Edomite dynasty from Ptolemy.
Right, because the Israelites was already gone.
Yeah, Israelites is gone. And at the very end of the Greek kingdom is when Antiochus came, and he destroyed the Israelites. They fled and went into up to the top of Africa, and then went over to right here. They show you the route. And the reason why I'm showing you all this because the maps I'm getting ready to show you is going to be profound. So see right here, this Judea, Jerusalem. They show you that now. They went this route. The Israelites, like I said, a Jew and an Israelite is two different people. The Jew is the people that came from Esau, and Esau proselyted a lot of people. He converted a lot of people, and so this is the reason that the Israelites, Jacob's descendants, fled. They fled up in Africa, and they stayed up here for a long time. Then they ended up coming through the Sahara Desert, where these arrows showing you, and they trickled down here. They ended up right here, and this is where the slave ships came and got us here. You just call West Coast Africa, right? It's like I was saying, all this that happened right here at this time when Essenes was there and all that, Israel was over here. They wasn't even there, but they have you thinking through the New Testament that they were Israelites,
right?
They wasn't Israelites,
right?
Yeah.
So with those Essenes having access to the temple, does that also mean they had access to any of our the records or the knowledge of the Israelites, being that they was able to go into
when Antioch Epiphanes came at the end of the third beast? Let me read that. When he came, that's when our records was laid open to them, because the Israelites fled. So from that point on, they tampering with our. Esau, he got our history too, because he was raised by Abraham and Isaac too. It's just that his lineage is Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, but our lineage as Israelites is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Okay.
So with that being said, it's two different type of people, and I'm going to show you in a minute through this information. The reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, to show you that it was two different migrations.
Okay.
This group right here, the Israelites in 143 fled Jerusalem. They was occupying Jerusalem, and they wouldn't hearken to the Lord of hosts, and he brought the Antioch Epiphanes, the king of fierce countenance in Daniel chapter 8. And he fled. He came and he was causing so much havoc in the land of Judah. The Israelites fled.
Right.
And they left. And they went this route. So let me get these other maps, and then we're gonna get on to it.
Okay.
Hold 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, like I said before, you gotta this has to be understood in order for you to see where I'm coming from and why it's of utmost importance to understand that what happened and what's going on with other people. So this is
So the importance of understanding that there were two migrations,
right,
is what?
Okay, so here we go right here. So
okay.
So what you start to see is you start to see right here that over here, this I told you it's in 143 BC when the Antioch Epiphanes came, these Israelites, they fled. In 70 AD, those Edomite Jews fled into Europe. See, the Israelites went this way, and the Jews that had stolen land over there, I tell you, the Edomites came in and stole the land of Israel by lot, and they started calling themselves by the 12 tribes. And so they stayed there until 70 AD. Then when the Vespasian and Titus ran them out, but Vespasian and that's their brethren. They didn't lead together, so they gave them safe passage to Spain. Right here? They was in, we over here, we ended up in Negro land. They went to Spain. And that's why this the Jews. The Israelites went over here. But over here, they went to Spain. And these are what they call the Sephardic Jews. And then that's why they saying that they mulattoes. And that's why they saying that King James was a black man and all that. These mulatto Jews they given safe status to Spain. Now you see all the areas where they went to when they was in 70 AD. These are routes they went in 70 AD. They in league with Rome, so they went to all these different little places and set up shop within the Roman Empire. This is the Roman Empire. So if you've been oppressed by people for as long as these so-called Jews have been, you would flee from their areas. You wouldn't set up shop in the areas where they at. Okay, so this is showing you where they went. These are all the pockets, and then here go where the Israelites went. You know, they went over here because Most High sent them over there, like he said, or for their good. And that's why they talk about when they say they fled into the wilderness. They went over here, and they was over here until the prophecy of them being going into captivity for with ships. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. They came and got them from over here. But all the time, these Edomite Jews, these Sephardic Jews, they existed in the land of Israel. Then they was kicked out in 70 AD. This is where they went. And here we go again over here. We give you another one. This is right here. See? You see the star? That Star of David has nothing to do with the real Israelites. There it is. It's showing you all the places, the pockets where they stayed up. It's the Roman Empire. So it's two different migrations. And like I said, so when you understand that it's two different gods. These people right here, with the Greeks and the Romans, they got whole records during the time at the end of the third beast, and they concocted at the Council of Nicaea another god. They concocted another book. These people concocted the New Testament. And then tonight, the Old Testament belonged to these people over here. They got it over here. They went over here. Two different books. These are Jesus folks that were dealing, you know, through Josephus and Philo of Alexandria, all them, they were hoodwinking our books and our records, and that's what they got right here. Josephus told the Romans, the only way to supersede the Jews and they zeal that they had was to get them another god, and that's what he done. The Romans got together and they concocted Julius Caesar, Octavian, and all them that group that first dynasty that was in the Flavian dynasty. That's who they are, the Flavians. They concocted at the Council of Nicaea. They rewrote everything and brought that in, and this is what you get. These are people right here. And you see, obviously, now you say, well, what are you talking about? Well, the people in the Old Testament have Hebrew names. And that's the ones that went over here. They had the Tanakh. The Tanakh the book was sealed up. He told Daniel, seal the book up until the time of the end, to the latter times. But these people came over here when they concocted the New Testament and all they done at the Council of Nicaea, they had to open it back up. And so how did they open it? They say Elijah came in, John the Baptist came in the wilderness in the spirit of Elijah. But the Most High tell us in the Malachi that Elijah ain't coming back to the very end. And Elijah is going to turn the hearts of the children, the descendants of Israel, back to the fathers when the Most High raised them up. In Ezekiel 37, he's going to raise our fathers up. And then Elijah's purpose, when he comes, is to bring us back to our fathers. to unite the two. So like I said before, you look at right here, these are two different types of people. So here go another map right here. This map right here. There you go. See that right there? That's Spain. And they go all the places they went to. When they left Jerusalem, they gave because they was in league with the Roman Empire, they gave Herod's family, which is the royal family, of the Jews. Those Edomite Jews, Herod is their royal family. our overall family is David. They fled over here. So this Harris lineage was given safe passage to Spain. And if you know anything about history, all of modern day history sprung forth from Spain. When Columbus came out of there and with the 3 ships, Nina Pinta and Santa Maria, and went and discovered the New World. These Edomites, two different nationality of people. The real Israelites are the ones that's keeping the Tanakh in the Old Testament, and their God is the Lord of hosts, and Yahweh went here. But these people right here, when they left Israel, fled from there, they went here to Spain, and they set up all these pockets. And I have some more maps to show you, and then because we got about 20 minutes. Let me get this here. Okay, so yeah, so right here, this is I've showed you 4 different maps. This is the 5th map right here. So we see right here, this is Israel right here. And it's showing you up here. See, it's the map, and this where all this stuff light start being shined on what's going on and what the lies and the trickery that they've done. See, they saying the migration of the 10 lost tribes. See that? This says the migration of the 10 lost tribes. But look where it's at. See, it's over here. It's over here around the Roman Empire, like where I told you the Edomite Jews went. That was kicked out in 70 AD. See, they go Spain right here, and he's showing you. See, all these areas right here is in Europe. These those European Jews that we looking at right today, which I told you 90% of them is out of Japheth. They was proselytized. They Ashkenazis. This is where they went. When they left 70 AD. These the routes they went right here. We got one more map. See, Israel, Spain. Yeah, Spain. This was the world as we know it now. All started right here when Columbus left from here, from Spain. Isabella sent the 3 ships out, but Israel in 70 AD they were sent here, for safe passages. They gave safe passage to Spain, showing you the rocks where they went. See, this is where the Rome met right here. If you've been oppressed by the Romans, why would you go to set up settlements all along Italy? See, all these European countries, Greece, because they in league with these people. So these not the Israelites. Over here, they go to Israelites over here. They left over here. These 2 different people. Like I say, now you see you got a God, you got the New Testament, these people, you got the Old Testament, these people. You got the God in the Old Testament is the Lord of hosts, Michael the Archangel, and Yahweh is the creator God. And over here you got a Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And these the people right here, these not Israelites. And nothing that they concocted you need to deal with. These are people over here. And they tied to the Holy Scriptures, the Old Testament. And so, like I said, when you look at this, then you got to do something. So now, I'm got one more thing to show you, then we're going to come close out for this episode. Okay, now, let me show you this here. Now you got to tie your shoes up on this one. So, Okay. Okay. So now here we go with, and like I said before, you know you can you can do what you want to do with it, but I'm gonna make it plain for you. So here we go. Now this Paul's journeys right here. This all the three. These are I got the three journeys of Paul. Here we go right here. So I showed you how that right here. I showed you right here on these maps. This is the migration of the Edomites, Jews, in 70 AD. See that? That's around the Roman Empire. This is around the Roman Empire right here. See where Paul went? Paul went to these same places. Like I said before, you can overlay it with a map. See right here. And so when it's shown to you, then you can't play with it. See these areas, the same areas. He left Israel. See Israel. He went to the same places where these people were. Like I said, the Israelites over here. See? So Most High got amnesia or something. He don't know what Israelites said. So Paul ain't come over here. See, and so he over there with these Gentiles in. Here it is. You go to the map right here where the Edomites went to when they fled Israel in 70 AD. That's what Paul went. He over here with all these and everybody that's awake or half-ass awake know the people over there right now in these areas over here. These Edomite Jews, they came. They are not Israelites. But this is where Paul went. See? This is where Paul went. So where's Paul from? Let's look at it. I gotta show you this. See this right here? It says Paul of Tarsus. See right here? Look where Tarsus is at. That's where Tarsus is at right there. There go Tarsus. There go Spain. Spain right here. Paul from Tarsus. See, he ain't no Israelite. The Israelites way on the west coast of Africa. Now let's look at this. I'm in Genesis chapter 10. It says, Genesis 10:1 says, these are the generations of sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and under them were sons born after the flood. And the sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Midian, Javan, Tubal, Meshach, Tyrus, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Raphat, I might be messing his name, but Tomagog, and the sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish. See that? Paul of Tarsus, that's where he's from. He go Tarsus right here. Bang, right there. See, so when it's showed to you, like I said, you do what you want to do with it. So let's look at it here. He go Paul's third journey right here. This is the third mission that Paul took. See? There it is, dead on. You don't get no better than this. Here we go. See that? So if you familiar with the New Testament, see that? There goes Spain right there. There it is over here. See that? All these people, all these routes, there goes Judea. It's Paul's third mission right here. See where he at? You're all up here. See that? Same places. All these people he went to. Now you got all these Israelite camps saying that these people that here was Israelites living in Gentile places. So those are Israelites. Look, ain't no way in hell they Israelites. See, all these that's what Paul went. He's saying these are Edomite Jews that left in 70 AD. See where they went? This France, Holland, Australia, Hungary, all these Gentile lands. And that's where they went to, because they in league with them. So that's where Paul went. So, like I said before, when the story in Acts about him being knocked off a horse and saying why couldn't get the prince, come on, man, that's a joke. Because look at the map. You can talk all the other crap you want to talk, but look at the maps. It's showing you right here. The map showing you where he went. And here go with these Edomite Jews. See, migration of the Jews. Here go the land they went to. Can't get around. Big as that. So I'm gonna close it out right there. So if anybody have any questions, we can expound on some questions. Yeah, let me get this one more map. I'll be right back. Okay, so what this is right here, oh man, King, yeah, right here. This is all of Paul's journeys. So we got all the journeys, all his journeys that he took, all of them right here. And you see where he went, all these places he went to. And remember, he a citizen of Rome. The Israelites over here. Excuse me. See, the Israelites over here, and what the Most High uncovered to this very day is that we know where they came and got us from. Over here, so we know that all this is legitimate, and then we even know now that it's real time through the brother Hebrews and Negroes that the 10 tribes are all over here. So what is all this? And look what Paul went. All places Paul went. He following those Edomites and those Ashkenazi Jews. And so what is this uncovering? It's also uncovering the fact to show you that what Malachi said. Let's read Malachi right quick. Because Malachi says right here, this is the last book of the Old Testament. This before they went over here, before the Israelites went over here. They didn't go over there. And some more people went over there. So it says, Malachi. Malachi chapter 1 says, the burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, says the Lord. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, says the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau. I laid his mountain and his heritage to waste from the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we shall return. So remember that. So we as Hebrew Israelites, we ain't returned no damn well as of today, but these people done returned. See, and that's why I'm trying to tell you the reason why I had to do all the other stuff I had to do. It seemed as if it was tedious, but now it's point blank. Like I said, you do what you want to do with it. They said in verse 4, whereas Edom said, Edom, not Israel, Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. And thus said the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. So you have to ask yourself, what border of wickedness? Verse 5, and your eyes shall see, and ye shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the borders of Israel. Right here. So what is that telling you? That at one time, that in their history, these Edomite history, they was in the land of Israel, posing as Israelites, and the Most High ran them out. That was in 70 AD. They came in when these people left in 143 BC, when Antioch Epiphanes ran them out. The Antichrist. He destroyed the temple. He did everything they said the Antichrist was going to do. He had a treaty with the Israelites for 7 years. He went to Egypt and attacked the king of the south, and at 3.5 years, what they call that, 3.5 years. Then he came back in the midst of the week and went up against Israel and ran them out. So that's what they got. This how big this deception is. And so, like I said before, these are people. They done already returned right here, Malachi. They told them how they're going to return and build the desert places. Well, they back over in the land of Israel. And they didn't rebuild the desert place, some of the desert places. They're not over there, they're not over in Tel Arad, over where the temple at, David's tabernacle, because the Most High ain't going to allow their wicked ass to be over there. But they didn't return. And they didn't build the place back up. Parts of it. Right here. I'm reading it right here in real time. So like I say, so you can keep on going in the direction you want to go in, whatever you want to do. But I'm showing you right here, point blank. You see it. It's two different races of people. Jacob and Esau. He go Jacob over here. He on the west coast of Africa, and they still over there. And he go Jacob. He go Esau right here. And this is where Paul went. So let's tell you right here. When you quoting any damn thing Paul said, look where he at. How he dealing with the Most High when the Most High people over here? But look, wait, all his journeys. He go all his journeys. He went over here to these Edomites that left in 70 AD. And like I said before, when were they there? Like I'm telling you, they was there. They stole the land. Let's forget it. In Obadiah. When these people left in 143 BEC, they stole the land. And no Edomite wants to deal with this one chapter in Obadiah. Let me read it right quick. Okay, I'm in the book of Obadiah right quick. And I'm going to read two things I'm going to read out here. Okay, I'm going to show you when they stole the land, and I'm going to show you Most High punishment on them. And it don't fit nothing in the New Testament. It says, 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off from forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that strangers carried away captive his forces, foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. He's talking to Esau. And when did this happen? When Epiphanes came, entered into the Israel, and started wreaking havoc on the Israelites. And Esau came in with him, knowing how the Most High operate, that he gonna always leave a remnant. He killed the remnant. Let me read that. 13. Thou shalt not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of that calamity. Yea, thou shalt not have looked on that affliction in the day of that calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of that calamity. Neither should thou have stood in the crosshairs to cut off those that did escape. That's the remnant. So Esau killed the remnant. And this is the reason why he got a problem with it. It says, neither should thou have delivered up those that did remain in the day of distress. So the Most High always leave a remnant to remain there. Esau killed the remnant. He superseded what the Most High was doing. So look what his punishment is. Verse Obadiah 17, verse 1 and 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall be their possession, and the house of Jacob shall be for a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. See that? And they shall kindle them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So, like I said before, you say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The Son don't know this. So everybody got a right to the tree of life, but the Most High telling you right here that Esau, none of them gonna remain. So the Father and Son ain't working in secret. They're not synchronized. The Son got his wires crossed. 19, and they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plains and the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead, and the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even to Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Seraphah, shall possess the cities of the south, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. Okay, so like I said before, the objective of these conversations, these uncomfortable conversations, is to bring Israel to the truth of the matter, because I'm gonna say that over and over again, that we're not going anywhere until we figure this stuff out. We figure out that we dealing with an idol. Up until this point, we've been dealing with an idol, and the Most High told us to search the scriptures and find him. Like I said before, that means he's lost. And so in the latter days, we got to search the scriptures. He's going to help us. Isaiah 44, 1-5, he's going to help us do that. He's going to shine a light on. He's going to raise up men that he's going to shine a light on. He's going to raise their spirit and show them in the scriptures who he is, and show them what these wicked ass Edomites and these Gentiles have done. And that's where we at right now. That's what this line is all about. Questions?
Hallelujah. So, first of all, let me say that you have uh, you have given me a deeper understanding of the difference in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and the God of the Old Testament and the God of the New Testament. You have closed the coffin for me on Paul.
Okay.
Okay. And
All right.
one of the things I got out of your teaching tonight, among many, is those people are so wicked that
Right.
they took the opportunity when the Lord of hosts closed the book in Malachi.
Right.
They took that. They so wicked that they came in during that time and brought in Jesus
Right.
during the
Right.
time that the testament or the word of the Lord for the Israelites, the book was shut.
Right. And then
And
they killed off of generations. They killed off. And so how you know that it wasn't no Israelites there, because of they was able to do that. They were able to pull it off because no Israelites was there. They was thousands of miles away up in Africa. The Most High was dealing with. They was doing everything they can to deal with the Most High. Yeah. And so
right.
and while they was doing that, they was over here hoodwinking our history and hoodwinking our culture.
Right, and taking our God. And like
Right.
you said, the showing of the maps tonight was so profound, because I knew all about Paul's journey and the places that he went, but
Right.
with you putting the travels, the place where the Israelites were, and Paul's journey, it's night and day. It's
Right.
not even the same place. And like you say, Paul followed the Edomites.
Right. He followed Edomites, and he ain't getting nothing he's talking about came from Yah. It ain't got nothing to do with Yah. It's concoction, and then you have to understand that it's an Edomite think tank that did all this. Like I was saying before, with this right here, with this let me get it. See this
Is
right?
Paul the one, Leonard? Is Paul the one that said, "I'm a Hebrew of Hebrews"?
Right, right. But this Egyptian Book of the Dead right here, and in here Horus, which is like I showed. That's what I'm gonna deal with next week. These 16 crucified saviors. I didn't print it out of each one of them. We're gonna deal with each one by one, and then we're gonna go down to Jesus, and no different than him and the other 16. And Horus was the first one.
Okay.
And in this book, each God got a book. They concocted Allah. Allah got a book. He got the Quran. The New Testament, Jesus, he got a book. Taurus, this is his book. Egyptian Book of the Dead. Our God, the Lord of hosts, and Yahweh, he got the old Tanakh, this book. Let me get it right here. Tanakh, right here. You go to Tanakh.
Right.
Yeah, right here. Right. So
yeah, very you made it very plain.
Right.
Just a deeper understanding, just clarity.
Right.
On the Old Testament, New Testament, Israelites, Edomites, very, very profound.
Okay. Yeah, so like I was saying before, we're gonna what you say?
I was just gonna say that what you just showed, just like we got to find out that we're the people of the book, we also got to find out that there's a people who went to a certain land and they're not us.
Right. Right.
So we're doing an in-depth study of who we are, but we also got to do an in-depth study of what you just showed.
Right. Exactly. And we using their information because of like I said, we've been following their narrative and following what they're saying. But now that the Most High is raising up people and shining a light on certain things, you're going right back to the same information that they didn't already let you know that these Paul journeys and all this is rock solid. That's part of their history. But now with the Most High waking up these Israelites, we going to use that same information and showing you that it's not so. It's a lie. Because of where Paul went and where the Israelites is at, it's two different places. It's crazy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. And like I said before, it's two different people. And you say, well, what you talking about? Why do you think that the Old Testament have Hebrew names? And then the New Testament got European names. Well, look where they was at. They're Europeans over here. But I showed you on the map. That's why the New Testament come from there. But the Old Testament come from the Hebrew. That's why all our forefathers in the Old Testament got Hebrew names. Two different books, two different gods, and two different books.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And even the differences in the names, like you say, like the Bible says, there's nothing new under the sun. They did the same thing when they brought us here to the West, changed our name. So it's something about those names.
Right. Well, it's got our God name. Is Yah, Jeremiah, Yah, Elijah. So they had to take that away. But the thing is, you gotta understand about that is what with Esau is the culprit. And I hear so many people they break down Esau. They have some good points about it, but they don't know what they haven't dealt with the Most High told us in Obadiah. He asked the question: do you understand the deep things of Esau? And what's being shined through these episodes and this uncomfortable conversation with a non-Messianic Israelite is the deep things of Esau.
The deep things of Esau. That's right.
Right. So like I said before, you can continue to keep on. You can continue to hold on to that. It's just him. It's a hindrance. As long as you hold on to it, it's a hindrance.
Mm-hmm.
Because he don't have none. The New Testament and none of the characters in there have nothing to do with us.
Mm-hmm.
From what I showed you tonight, you see it's two different places, and the luxury that we have today in the latter days is, we growing up looking at them Ashkenazi Jews walking around, bouncing around.
Mm-hmm.
We know that they ain't the ones. They ain't the ones. We done found it out. And so now with this information right here, you see it's two different places. The Israelites went one place, and these proselyte Jews went another place. But what nobody don't know is they occupied the land of Israel at one time.
Yes.
And then and not only that, just like with the Ethiopian Jew. How did the Ethiopian Jew? Why is the Ethiopian Jew saying that he's an Israelite or that he's a people of the book? When Sennacherib came, took the 10 tribes out. He took the 10 tribes out, took them to Assyria. He went and got people from other lands and placed them in the cities of the 10 tribes. The Ethiopians were one of the people. That's who the Samaria is. That's why Samaria caused so much havoc, because they heathens. Sennacherib brought them and put them in the land. Let me read that right quick. Like I said, I didn't came too far to start just quoting stuff. So I'm in 2 Chronicles 17. 2 Chronicles 17, and I'm gonna read it right quick. Let me see. It might be 1 Chronicles.
Which chapter?
17.
Oh, chapter 17.
No, 2 Chronicles. This 1 Chronicles. Hold up, let me see. I know it was chapter 17. Let me see what I'm doing. Second Chronicles. Maybe 2 Kings. Let's see. Yeah, 2 Kings, not Chronicles. Yeah, there it is, 2 Kings. 17 and verse 24. You got it?
Yes.
And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon and from Cuddar and from Ava and from Hamath and from sought for them and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel, and they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And then it says 25, and so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there, they feared not the Lord. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them, because they didn't know the Lord of hosts, and Lord of hosts ain't had nothing to do with them. He started sending wild beasts to kill them. So the 10 tribes is in Assyria. So look what he done. 26. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria. He the one that done this, saying, the nations which thou have removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the God of the land. Therefore he hath sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the God of the land. Then the king of Assyria, look at this. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom ye brought from thence, and let them go and dwell there, and let them teach them the manner of the God of the land. See that?
Exactly.
So that's same thing now. So we in the same predicament now. We got people that don't know a damn thing about our God, trying to teach us about his manners.
Yes.
And
Now let me ask you this, Leonard.
Go ahead.
Earlier you said we read at the 2-hour mark. Earlier you said that in the book of Malachi, the book was supposed to be, he said, seal up the book until the time of the end. Now the time of the end is when? Now, right now. When we're waking up? Right
now, because when you look at it, when you look at the fact that one of the prophecies that nobody seemed to know nothing about was Amos 9:11. He says in the latter days, I'm gonna raise up the tabernacle of David that's been torn down and close up the breaches thereof and rebuild it. They done dug it up. That's a sign that we're in the latter days. And along with that, he says, search the scriptures in the latter days and find him. Like I said, anybody that have any kind of intellect know if you telling you to find him, he lost.
Come on.
So who is this God we've been dealing with up until this point? Before we got to the latter days. If our God is lost and we got to search the scriptures and find him, then who is the person we've been dealing with?
That's right.
And I just showed it to you from these maps.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. So it's all we had. Anybody else got anything? Yeah. Okay. So first of all, I want to thank everybody that helped me out with the the images. Very very appreciate that. And the man behind the scenes, I want to thank Kevin behind the scenes, him and AJ. And with that, if nobody have anything else, we're gonna close it out. This is our second episode. Oh, got another question? It says it's all the Bantu tribes in Africa, descendants of Jacob. I'm gonna say right now. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say yeah. The Bantu. Yeah. I'm gonna say yes. I got some reservations on that, but I'm gonna say yeah for right now, and then yeah, we'll deal with it when we come back on the next Wednesday for the third episode. But right now I'm gonna say yeah. Any more comments or questions? Okay, so I'm gonna say shalom, and like I was saying before, I appreciate everybody that helped with the images, and like I said with Kevin and AJ behind the scenes, and like we're not going nowhere. We're gonna uncover one live at a time, one episode at a time. We uncover these lies. You can do with them what you want to do with them. So with that, shalom.